I'm the first negative speaker for homeschooling to be banned for children 6 to 18 in California. So I'm going to respond to Blake's claims. His first one is that social awkwardness occurs for kids who are homeschooled and they don't get to choose their friends. So first, I want to go over the fact that homeschooled kids are actually able to socialize with other kids in their age group outside of school. They can have sports, clubs, church groups, and Boy or Girl Scouts. So I think that's a pretty broad opportunity to be surrounded by fellow people your age. Also, depending on the parent, avoiding public school socialization, homeschooled kids will avoid drug use and potential abuse from other children. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, illicit drug use of 8th graders is at 6.5%, 10th graders at 17%, 12th graders at 22.9%. And these percentages have risen drastically in the last 3 years. So it's increasing as time goes on, which is not a good thing if your kid is going to a public school. He has a lot of bad influences. Also, a survey conducted by the National Center of Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University also states that about 17% of American high school students use drugs during the school day. So that's another kind of mind-blowing fact that it's around the school and not just extracurricular activity. So kids would be surrounded by that during their learning. So Blake's second claim was that parents wouldn't be good enough of teachers. So homeschool.com actually showed a study, and it ranked homeschooled kids higher over public school kids when it comes to maturity, socialization, and communication. So that's pretty interesting. And I read off a couple more websites that had the same information. So on to his third supporting claim. He brought up private schools are the answer, but private schools are actually really expensive, and I don't think the broad majority of people could just afford to go to a public school, especially when another fact from homeschooling.com states that the amount of money a parent spends on their kid's education in homeschooling, whether it was under $600 or over $600, the kids still scored in the 86 to 89 percentile of standardized tests. So money spent on education doesn't necessarily affect performance. And why would you want to spend a bunch of money to have your kid go to a private school when you could just do it yourself? And also he says that it's a lot of work. I think that if you're homeschooling your kids, you're prepared for that. It's kind of your job, so I don't see why it would be so much work. And also, I want to go over that the lack of individual attention at public schools. I think the educational system right now doesn't support individuals in their learning, and it's based off of test taking rather than understanding the material. The one-on-one individualized attention given through homeschooling is unmatched by any public school in California because it allows kids to learn at their own rate. And so 1 in 4 of them are actually enrolled in one or more grades past their age. So I think homeschooling does make a huge difference too, even if they were going to a private school. There's nothing like one-on-one learning. And yeah.